Hey folks, today we're gonna tier rank the paper computer games. Let's rank some paper computer games. Alrighty, so we have got, let's put on some music, and we have got a proper paper computer game ranking. You know what? Let me get out my my chat so I can see what chat is saying. Sorry, one moment. V Gaming says hi. Hi V Gaming, how's it going? All right. So let's lay out the rules of this thing, all right? I know no one's here yet, but I'm hoping people will watch this on the replay, so... or otherwise I can always clip it. So, I'm not including every paper computer game ever made. I'm sticking to like the major paper computer games, which is sort of hard to define, you know, what counts as a major paper computer game. I'm including games from everyone. You know, Chris, myself, even... ranking my own games is kind of weird, but, you know, what the heck, I'm doing it. You know, Pierre, Ari, Chris, and even some other people. I have some games by Anstari here. I have I have 2 games by Anstari, one by Salman the Fish. I'm not including anything that is a paper game. Hi, JC Tunes, how's it going? I'm not including anything that's a paper game because this is a PCG tier ranking. So yeah. By the way, is that music too loud? Let me know if that music is too loud. Hey, Anstari, how's it going? Yeah, 2 of your games are in here, so yeah, a lot of stuff is gonna get ranked. V Gaming says, "Where's Via?" That is a very good question. I think she is sleeping, but. I will text her and see if she can show her one of her games is on here as well. Anyway, right. So we are going to oh, Via's here. Hello. Welcome. All right. So we are going to get started ranking these paper computer games. The way this works is, you know, I'm gonna drag one of these little PCG covers up into one of these boxes, and then, I mean, you guys probably know music is a little loud. All right, let's fix that. How's that better? PCGs in Espanol, yeah, that's our second channel. What is going on with my speakers? Oh well. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna drag one of these little covers into these areas, and like based on where I drag them, that's, you know, my estimation of them. S is like super the best. Anything that goes into the S tier is like blew my mind. All right, that is a game that's just like, wow, like this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. A tier is like a solid game, like no complaints, really good, thoroughly enjoyed it through and through. Yeah, like just a really solid game. B is like still a very solid game, but you know, maybe like there's areas where it's weak. It could be stronger. Like still really solid overall, but you know, maybe has some weaknesses. C is starting to get onto the weak side. Like that is, you know, still an enjoyable game probably, but like, you know, maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it has good, you know, mixed bag. Got some good stuff, got some bad stuff. And D is, you know, on the weaker side. Doesn't mean it doesn't have good things in it, but, you know, not one of the best paper computer games. So, let's get started. Shall we rank some paper computer games? I You know what? I think there's like a thing now where I can actually ask you, like, poll you guys. Let's try it. Should I rank some PCGs? Question mark. Yes or no? Ask. Is that gonna work? I put a poll. I don't know how that like works or whatever, you know. Oh, there we go. It's showing up for me on my other channel, so yeah, let me guys know what you think. Right now it says, somebody said yes, it is 100% yes with 1 vote so far. Alright, so that's a pretty high response. So I'm thinking I should do it. Wow, these polls are cool. I know, right? I know, I'm digging this. Alright, so I got a positive response. Let's do this. Zach, you need to make a video on the PCG iceberg. Yeah, I know that. Like, I want to do that as well. That's on the agenda. Since somebody did make a PCG iceberg, I am planning to do that. So, okay. Let's rank some PCGs. So, let's start from the beginning. Let's start with Chris's games, all right? Because Chris's games, are, you know, that's where it all started. So let's start with the games we played when we were kids. As a tone setter, let's start with Rich Kid game, all right? This game I don't really remember that well. We were kids. But I do remember this one was, like, really fun, and this was one of the first games where you got to, like, explore a town. Like, this image that I'm using as the cover of it here is, like, an exploration screen, like, top-down. It's one of the few PCGs that lets you do this. So I remember this one being really, really good. I'm going to give this one a solid A. That's a tone setter. And then, let's see. Our next game, we're gonna do the other one from when we were kids. This one is... this is Karate Game. Now, Karate Game, this is one of the PCGs where Chris, like, created a fighting system based on karate. This was when he was learning karate, and I had to learn karate in the game. And I remember not liking these karate games as much. Via says Zach has an agenda. Oh boy. Yeah, no, surprising, right? I'm used to, like, not having an agenda, just, like, you know, doing whatever happens, but yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this karate game, this is I mean, I remember not liking it that much. I mean, the karate fighting system, like, doesn't add that much to the game, and the and because it's so focused on karate, like, it doesn't have much of a story, as I recall. So, like, overall, I'd say, like, even though there is some really cool stuff, like, this art that I used for the cover of this is really cool, and I used this for my video, the first PCG ever made. I worked that into some of my animation, so some really cool art in here and some really cool stuff, and a really cool attempt at doing something different with a paper computer game. But nonetheless, overall, I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. All right, so let's see what's next. Now we are moving out of the kid era and moving into the, like, sort of Series 2 era. This is from when we were, like, upper teens. I'm gonna do Chris's games from here, and then we're gonna move on to some of, you know, some other people's games, including my own. By the way, let's check on those poll results. Still 100% yes, with 7 votes. All right, sweet. That's good, because that's what I did. All right, so the first game of Chris's series... Hey, Cold Brooding Werewolf, how's it going? The first game of Chris's Series 2 era is called Till Time Do Us Part. This is kind of like... You know, this is a very classic game. You know, a very, like, linear, straightforward PCG that is, so, you know, it's Zach fighting, you know, the company like he does, but then there's some weird time travel and stuff, you know. He goes to a medieval castle, and there's, like, dinosaur, like, just things from different eras getting sucked in, so there's a lot of chaos. So this is a really solid, really fun PCG. Didn't blow my mind or anything. I'm gonna put this in... It's between A tier and B tier. I'm thinking maybe I'll put this in B tier. I don't know why. I mean, I don't have any specific flaw with it, but I just feel like I mean, it's a really good relaunch, like start to the new era of PCGs at the time. But nonetheless, I feel like this one is, it's not strong enough to warrant being an A tier. All right, so let's see what we got next. We got Relics of the Sea. Relics of the Sea, the next game in the series, that is like, this one is a little bit more. I had a lot more fun with this one. This one, like, it had me fighting against neo-Nazis for some reason. They had a base, and I had to, like, steal a submarine for them, and then go into the sea and, like, fight a giant crab, which is really cool. Nods to Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. And I had a lot of fun because I was trying to take over the Nazis' base. I was trying to just knock out every single Nazi and, like, lock them up somewhere in the base and, you know, take over the base. And Chris was resisting me, so it wasn't really happening, but I had a lot of fun doing that anyway. So I think this one is going to get an A tier because I had so much fun trying to do that. Even though I failed to do it, ultimately, I got into the, like, I thought I had taken over the base, and then I get to the next screen, and there's, like, a sub-basement with, like, 30,000 Nazis, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's not happening. Hey, Angry KP, how's it going? Welcome. So, alright, yeah, that game is gonna get an A tier. And next, Chris, started, like, changing the direction of the series with the Fabric of Reality. Now, the Fabric of Reality is, the Fabric of Reality is more like a build-up to the next game than a game in and of itself. Still, this is really cool. This is the first time PCGs have gotten into a sort of Crisis on Infinite Earth style thing where the reality is coming apart and pulling itself back together, and you're going from one weird random like chunk of reality to another. It's a really cool concept, but it's short because it's mostly build up for the next game. So I think I'm gonna have to put it in B tier, although, or I don't know, maybe I might put this in A tier just because it's really cool, it's really focused, and it does its job really well. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be an A tier game. So next game we've got is going to be, let's see, we have, after that, the next game it was building up for is Ginkus's Gift. Now, Ginkus's Gift is different because this is the first one that was actually made using like a computer. It's not a computer game, it's still a PCG, but it uses flash animations for the screens, which is really cool. Really experimental. It had a combat system that actually worked and was fun and engaging. So that was really good. So the art is really cool, and the story is really cool. But, like, you know, I feel like this game was, like, trying to be really epic, and it didn't, like, meet that level of epicness. I feel like it had a lot more potential than it met. So even though this game is really solid in and of its own right, I felt like it ended too quickly and, like, didn't build its own world as much as it could have. So I think I'm gonna give this a B tier. Really solid game. Like, it's a solid B tier, though. This is, like, a really solid game. Definitely recommend, but B tier nonetheless. Angry KB says Zach equals Cax. Yeah, so I'm told. The next game we've got up here is called The Nazi Machine. Now, The Nazi Machine, this was back before Chris realized he could, like, start games with different characters, so it takes place right after Ginkus's Gift, but Zach is just, like, randomly transported away from that whole world and into a totally different situation. Cold Brooding World says, PCG tier rank, baby. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah. The Nazi Machine on its own was a really fun spy adventure. Really solid. And it took you into some new situations. It had like a really fun party scene where you get to interact with a lot of different people and do a trading sequence, introduce some new memorable characters, built on PCG lore. This is really just a really solid game overall. I'm gonna have to give this an A tier. So let's see. Next up, do we have any more of Chris's games from that era? I think that's it, right? We did the Nazi machine. Yeah, that's it. So, okay, so next, let's start with some of my games. So first of all, my first game of that era is called The Evil League of Evilness. Sorry, I was reading the comments for a second there. But yeah, The Evil League of Evilness is my first game of the series. Like Till Time Do Us Part, it was just trying to be sort of a classic PCG, giving sort of a demonstration of what PCGs are, and so for that reason, I was mostly copying from Chris's old games. Not that much originality to. I mean, like, it does do some cool things, and it like starts some trends and characters or whatever that would continue into PCG continuity, but. The game in and of itself is sort of like, it was trying to be like Chris's games and didn't do it as well as Chris does it. So, this game, I feel like I'm gonna have to give it a C tier because as much as, I love it for, all sorts of reasons, and it's great to revisit, but at the same time, objectively speaking, this is one of the weaker ones of my PCGs. Culverting Werewolf says, Evil League of Evilness, we played it. Yeah, that's right. Culverting Werewolf came on in here and played that game. Good times. Yeah, my next game was number 2, The Alien Abduction. This one, is another one of my games. Like, the second game, I was still continuing sort of copying what Chris had done before. So, but this one is starting to get more original. This is where I'm starting to get more into it and just beginning to find my own voice, but still hadn't completely done it. So I feel like this one is better than number 1, but still not as good as these other games. So I'm gonna give it a C tier, but I'll give it a high C tier. So by the way, who's all still here? I see 7 people in chat, but I don't know who they are. You guys could be anyone, One of you could be like, I don't know, President Biden. One of you could be like, Jim Carrey, You never know, right? You never know who's in your chat. Anyway, so, what do we got next? All right, so next game, Colbert World says Pokemon a solid S tier. We'll see about that. I don't know. That's I'll consider that. But first, let's go to The Last of the Zerelta. Here we go. The Last of the Zerelta. So The Last of the Zerelta is really iconic. It's a game that the first appearance of Ginkus. This set up a lot of PCG mythology that came after it. This is by me once again, by the way. A pretty solid game overall. Like, for this classic era of PCGs, this was a pretty decent one, I think. This was one of the first times where I broke out of the mold of just using characters that are based on us, like real people. Laughing Trip says, you got me, I am in fact Jim Carrey. Oh, well. Welcome aboard, Mr. Carrey. Colbert Wolf says, oh my god, the vice president is here, boy. I've been hiding behind this account. Oh no. Alright, so, The Last of the Zerelta, as much as it is iconic, as much as I love it, I think it is a more straightforward and solid game than, like, Ginkus's Gift and Well, then again, Ginkus' gift has a lot of cool stuff that Last of the Zerelta doesn't have. But I think I'm going to put Last of the Zerelta maybe on a low A tier. I don't know, lower than all these other games. Also, I'm going to put Till Time Do Us Part behind Ginkus' gift, because Ginkus' gift is a really solid PCG. Till Time Do Us Part is good, is as well, but by Ginkus' gift, Chris was hitting his stride more. Even though he like didn't fully, you know, flesh out the that game, I feel like it's the parts of it, like there's parts of it that are really good that, you know, worked really well. So this is Red, he is sus. Colbert Rose says Last of the Zerelta is better. Oh, thanks, dude. And the Zodiac Killer hiding behind this account. Oh, no. Alright, so next up, we got the Mansion of Mystery. So after Last of the Zerelta, I was experimenting with, like, totally different characters, and this is the first mystery game. And this is really cool. This is a really cool concept. I thought it was fun and original and engaging. For that era, I think I'm gonna give this, I mean, it's not as good as like a modern mystery game would be, but so far there are none of those, so I'm gonna call this A tier. And I might even say put it above Last of the Zerelta. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will, because the Mansion of Mystery's gameplay is really engaging, so yeah, let's give that an A tier. Next up, we got let's see, what else we got going on here? What should I rank next, you guys? I think I need to rank. I'm the real Zach behind this account. Please send help. Keep dreaming, good sir. The help will never come. Real Zach. Alright, so, where am I, what's my next game? Okay, so, Squids and Forest, this is sort of an experimental game, and it's really good for what it was, but I feel like it sort of didn't fully explore its premise. I'm going to give this a B tier. Yeah, I think I'll give that one a B tier. I think I'll put it, like, maybe ahead of Till Time Do Us Part? I don't know. No, I'll put it behind. Till Time Do Us Part was good. Alright, so, yeah, this is the first PCG that, like, you can just win. Like, and anytime you can just win, but you can optionally explore the rest of the game more. So that was a new idea. Phew, I just finished my math summer course for today. Oh, sweet. Congrats, Anstarry. So next up, let's see, we got, oh, shoot. I should have done this one first, but this is The Ancient Secret Under Shri. This game is, you know, another classic PCG. There's nothing really remarkable about it. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's some cool lore in it. There's some cool exploration, but nothing really stands out from the other PCGs of this era. So I'm just going to give it a B. I'm going to put it behind Squids and Forest, because Squids and Forest was really bold. It took a chance with a new kind of gameplay that hadn't been done before, and it did it well, and it was fun. So yeah, I'll put Squids and Forest ahead of it. And hello, Turtle Man. Yeah, the turtles. So next up, what else we got? All right, the next game in the Squids and Forest series, Further Sylvan Squidisms. It was trying to follow up on what Squids and Forest did by, like, making you able to win the game at any time, but, like, you can optionally explore more. So it's just pure exploration, like, no challenge at all. This one, like, I felt like it didn't do it as well as Squids and Forests did, and we didn't really have much fun with this one, so I'm gonna give this a low C tier. Like, I wanted to do more with that style, but I got too carried away with drawing pretty pictures, and it didn't end up being, you know, that solid of a game. So let's see, what do we got next? Let's break some other people's PCGs into here. I've got some Anstarry games coming up. I've got a game by Via. I've got a game by Salmon the Fish PCG. Let's see. Let's do Via's game, The Ogre and the Princess. And this is Via's first ever paper computer game after I'd introduced PCGs to her, and I must say, she got it like right off the bat, and like her first game, like unlike my first games, like my first games were just like trying to copy Chris's games and not doing it as well as he did. So I expected Via to be doing that same thing, but she pretty much immediately had her own style. It was clever and unique and creative. She introduced some new characters, and that formed the basis for a world. Like, so she really, like, you know, from the very beginning was, you know, kind of into her world and into her characters. It was, you know, a really cool first adventure. So I am gonna give this one... I think I'm gonna give this one... Maybe... I think I'll give it a B tier, but a very solid B tier. This is like... I'm gonna put it ahead of Ginkus's Gift. Because, you know, Ginkus's Gift is a good thing to compare it to, because Ginkus's Gift is also, like, set in a fantasy world, like an alternate universe filled with fantasy, and both, you know, have crossovers from normal PCG characters. But The Ogre and the Princess, like, really, like, you know, develops its world more, I feel. Or, like, The Ogre and the Princess, like, you know, she created a whole, like, world map for it, like, the you know, the Hazelnut Kingdom, you know, and like, it has a portal to the other PCG universes, and, like, you know, you can kind of, like, even in this short, simple, linear game, you can really get into, the PC, like, her world. So this is a really solid, like, first adventure to set up her world. There was a prequel adventure to this, but unfortunately I'm not counting it for here just because, like, it was very short. It was only like a couple of pages, and I'm trying to exclude games that are only a few pages long. And unfortunately that does exclude her other games as well, Cows the PCG and Squirrels the PCG, which are both really good, but too short. I'm like, if I included those, I would have to include a ton more, and I'm trying to stick to, like, main series PCGs. Pretty Pictures, Go Burr. 80% of Cold-Birding Werewolf says 80% of Indian VFX is bad and the other 20 is awesome, and it can stand toe-to-toe with Endgame or the Snyder Cut. Really? What's like... I don't have much experience with Indian VFX. I mean, the only thing I've seen is... There was a series on Netflix I saw. What was it called? I forget what it was called, but there was like a Netflix Indian superhero show that I watched like a few episodes of. It seemed pretty cool. I forget what it's... But the VFX was definitely like lower budget than most American superhero shows. But yeah, I'm curious to see some of those like 20% awesome VFX shows. And sorry, it says turtle soup is taboo. I mean, I can't imagine why. Kidding. Kidding, I'm totally with you on turtle soup and story. Alright, so next up, what have we got next up? Let's rank some more of my games, I guess. Do I have any more in here? Oh no, I just accidentally added the Mansion of Mystery in here twice, so I guess that one's just gonna stay here. But let's see. Next up, we've got Fried Calamari. Fried Calamari, I'm really proud of. I thought this was a really solid adventure. You know, one of my better paper computer games. it has a lot of lore, and I had a really great time developing the lore for this. You know, playing it, I think it, like, Ari seemed engaged in the mystery, you know, of it and the lore. So I'm gonna put this above my other 2 games. Might even put this above Nazi Machine and Fabric of Reality. So yeah, I'm gonna put this at a very solid A. Well, one of my better games. So I feel weird ranking my games in with everyone else's games, but you know, I'm doing it. So anyway, next up we got. Let's see. Let's do Welcome to Death Ward Hospital. Welcome to Death Ward Hospital is a weird game, but a fun game. This is like actually technically the second mystery paper computer game ever made, though it's more of a traditional adventure. This is just weird and zany, does whatever it wants to do, but I felt like the exploration was really satisfying, you know, and I don't know, this just did a lot of really good stuff. I'm gonna put this at a low A. What else we got? All right, one more for me. Let's before we do some from other people. Colbert and Grove says, I have a request to make an updated version of how to make a paper computer game. Yes, that is a really good request. I've gotten requests for that before, and I'm definitely going to try to do that when I get some time. So Descent, Descent is another really solid game I made, I think. I've had a lot of people play it. They all seem to enjoy it, but like it's, I don't know, like the beginning of it is just way too hard, and I like practically feel like I have to like cheat to get people past it in order for them to enjoy the PCG. So like, and other parts of it aren't well, like some of the puzzles aren't well put together, like it's not reasonably possible to solve them. So I'm gonna put this at a B, and I'm gonna put this like, maybe I'll put it like under The Ogre and the Princess. Okay. So, let's see. What else we got? What else we got? Let's do some of Kurt's games. Kurt's games are on here. So, let's do Malfoy the Mailbox Bot. This was like Kurt's first major PCG. He made this for my birthday, and, you know, it has a surprise appearance by Link, but it's not so surprised because it's on the cover, which is awesome. You know, Link from the Zelda games. And this was like sort of the beginning of Kurt's whole mythology. This does a lot of really cool stuff. The world he creates in here is really original and interesting, really well done. And a lot of the stuff is really cool. And like the premise of the game is really strong, that you're like a mailbox or mail robot. So like, not mail like the gender, but mail like, you know, delivering the mail. And sorry, says, I just remembered what PCG stands for. Perfectly canned grapes. Dang it, now I'm hungry for grapes. Dang it. I don't think we have any grapes here. No. We do have blueberries, though, so... Alright, we good. Crisis averted. Okay. So, Malfoy the Mailbox Bot, like, really solid game and, like, really interesting concept, but in some cases it's, like, too hard, which is kind of the point. Like, Kurt made it intentionally to, like, torture me with it being, like, unbearably hard. It's not too hard, though, so I'm gonna give it a, I'm gonna, like, I think, like, the map screen in particular was, like, impossible to navigate, so that alone is gonna drop it down a tier. I think this one is gonna go... I think this is gonna have to be a B tier, but where do I put it? I think I'll put it behind Descent. It would be higher, but that map screen, though, oh, it was like, I like it. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the map screen. Like, in that game, that map screen was like, it was just an unreadable tangle of lines, and you had to use that to navigate. It was virtually impossible. It hurt your eyes to do it every time, and that was completely intentional on Kurt's part. Kurt is evil. He is possibly the most evil PCG maker in the history of PCG makers. But yeah, so I do appreciate that on that basis. But if I'm being objective as like how enjoyable of a game it is, I feel like objectively I would be forced to put it at this ranking. So yeah. And sorry, says blueberries are nice if you can find the ones with a balance of sour and sweet. I don't know. I personally am more on the sweet blueberry side. Although there are some really good blueberries with a sour and sweet mix. I know what you mean. I really like fresh, like raw, like blueberries that you actually pick off the bush. Those are amazing. The map screen was PTSD commences. Oh man, oh yes. Alright, so, what do we got now? What do we got going on here? Let's do, let's say, here's the what was this called? The Guide to Secret Agents, Save Game, and More. This was part of the PCG contest I did one time. This was made by Yak Games, and I felt like this was a really solid first adventure of him. Like his, Yak's style is to, really, he's really into PCG lore, and he really does his research and really, connects it to the lore in really interesting and cool ways, while also making the game feel real. So this game was like his first real outing, really showing off his ability to do that. And, he sort of develops his own corner of the PCG universe. It's this branch of the company called More. But the company is, from Chris's Classic Games. So yeah, this is a really solid game. I think I'm going to give this a low A tier. It was a really solid game. Like, really, really well done. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of short. It could have had a lot more in it, and I've seen some negative reviews of it from other people, but I had a lot of fun with it. It just felt very real, and like you're there. Everything was very immediate, and it had a lot of really cool ties to PCG lore, so I really enjoyed it. And sorry says, yeah, the fresh ones are really good. Oh yeah, 100%. Goldberting Roll says, Zach, would you like PCGs which have a lot of puzzles and exploration, or PCGs which have more exploration than puzzles? They're both good in different ways. Like, I love exploration and I love puzzles, so, I don't know. I like a good combination of them. I like some PCGs that are mostly one, some that are mostly the other, and some that are a good mix. I don't think there's one that's, I think they're both equally important to the PCGs as a franchise. Okay, so next up, let's look at, what should I do? Oh, let's do, Kurt's game Spaceballs. Because this is the game where Kurt's mythology, he'd started building characters, a world in Malfoy the Mailbox Bot, and now, Spaceballs is the game where he builds on that, but, does, completely builds on it, makes it so interesting. Spaceballs was an incredible game. I don't know what it was about this game, but, he has, a team of characters that you get to work with and, care so much about. This is the game that introduced Tutorial Bot. This is the game that but it was way more than just Tutorial Bot. There's so many other characters. You get to not only rely on them for their abilities, but care about them as people. There was so much character development. There was so much good exploration. And you get so interested in the universe. As weird and zany as it is, this is one of the best paper computer games I've ever played. So this one is easily an S tier. Phew. We've got our first S tier, you guys. All right. So what's next? What is next? Let's do Pierre's first game, Genesis. So Genesis is beautifully drawn. Like, this is like some of the most incredible PCG art I've ever seen. Pierre's art is amazing. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's Exile. This one's Genesis. Yeah, so Genesis, like, the art is just like off the charts. It's so beautiful. And Pierre really did her research, like not with PCG lore, but with like real world, like she called it hermetic knowledge. She really, you know, did her research, and all her puzzles had so much effort put into them. This is really beautifully crafted, like perfect work of art. And like playing the game is really engaging and enjoyable. You really get like into it. I don't know what else I can say about this. S tier. Brilliant game, brilliantly done. Colbert and Rose says, Zach, would you rather have a PCG which is like Driver or a game with dimension travel? I haven't seen Driver. I don't know what that is. But interdimensional travel is really cool. I do enjoy interdimensional travel, so yeah. And Story says, Spaceballs is S tier. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah! Woo! You know it. Alrighty, so, let's see. Next up, let's do Regenesis. So Regenesis is Pierre's remake of Genesis, because she didn't think Genesis was good enough. Like she like, as beautiful a work of art as that was, she's like, I need this to be better. So she made Regenesis, and the art in Regenesis is better, and it adds more stuff, which is good. But weirdly enough, I actually don't like it as much as Genesis. Like, the gameplay itself, I feel like it simplified things, you know, in the interest of making it more streamlined. But I felt like that gave it less exploration, and so, like, it didn't feel like, you know, as much, you know, mystery to it, and it's more just like, you know, okay, there's like 2 rooms, and you can do everything in those 2 rooms, and that's it, you know? Like, I don't know, it felt like, yeah. So I'm gonna give this one, it's still obviously a really solid, beautifully crafted PCG. I'm gonna give this one an A tier. Yeah, maybe I'll just give it a low A tier. I don't know. I don't know if I want to put it above all these others or not. I don't know. I'll deal with that later. I can always reorganize these later. And sorry, it says Genesis. Woo! Clap, clap, clap. Yeah. All right. So, let's see what else we got here. Let's go Balzac Globotron. Yeah, Balzac Globotron, biggest paper computer game to my knowledge that has ever been made in terms of size. It's made by me. A lot of ideas here, you know, space exploration, you know, like controlling your ship, building a fleet, exploring tons of different planets. So much PCG lore. Ginkus is in it. Malfoy is in it. You know, like, ties to all other games. It's one of the first multiplayer PCGs. You know, it crosses over with the Ari series and the Pierre series, and, like, lets them all play together at the same time. Whew! A lot going on there. However, Balzac Globotron does have a lot of big flaws to it as well. it's super inefficient. There's a lot of pointless screens, a lot of pointless, like, worlds that aren't that interesting, As much as this game, like, if I had a second pass at it, if I had a team to work on it with, and, like, a second pass, and we could, like, redo some of the areas and redo some of the worlds, and then, like, release the remake, I think this could be really, like, this could genuinely get close to an S tier, but as it is, I think I'm going to have to give this an A tier. I think I'll put it above Regenesis. I think I'll put it above Agents of More. And sorry, says Balzac Globotron is epic. Thanks so much, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put it above Death Ward Hospital. And Last of the Zerelta. Last of the Zerelta is iconic, but Balzac Globotron is definitely a better game overall. And Mansion of Mystery, and The Nazi Machine, and Fabric of Reality, and Fried Calamari. Well, maybe I'll put it below Fried Calamari. I don't know. Relics of the Sea, though, is not as good as Balzac Globotron. I'll put Relics over here, and same for Rich Kid Game. I mean, I think those games are really good, but Balzac is on another level. I think I'll, yeah. So I think that's our A tier. All right, so, I need to like come up with some more Balzac Globotron related content for this channel. Like I've been totally neglecting it because it's just so big. I just don't know what to do with it. But I need to finish my overview of it, and I need to I don't know, just do more stuff with it, generally speaking. Hold on, I'm just trying to angle chat so my phone can be charging and I can also see it. But okay, yeah, Balzac Globotron, solid A tier. Let's see what else we got. Exile. Pierre's second game, Exile. This one is another beautifully crafted, beautifully drawn PCG. And this one brings characters into it, and you would think that would be a jumping the shark moment, because her first game doesn't have a single person to talk to. It's all just like finding ancient journals and, clues and whatnot. This one brings characters in it, but it does it really well, in a really good way. And it has an epic story, it has a larger area to explore, and you really good game. I loved playing it, and I was stuck on it for a very long time, but it was so engaging, that it was worth it. So I feel like this one is as good as Genesis. I'm putting it in S tier. Alright, so, next up, we got... Let's do Tenebris, Anstari's here, let's do Tenebris. Okay, so Tenebris was Anstari's first paper computer game ever. He'd made a lot of paper games, but this is his first PCG to my knowledge. And it was really good. Another really solid PCG adventure. Definitely immediately found his own style, which makes sense since he'd been making paper games. But from what I've seen, this is like different from his other paper games as well. So he immediately found his own PCG style, which is really cool. And it's a boss battle game, which means while it does, stay true to the PCG mechanics, it's also, like a totally new kind of PCG, which is really cool. And it's a boss battle game. It lets you fight bosses, which is a really good mechanic. And I like the way that you're able to work with items. I had a lot of fun playing with that because it just lets you be creative with, you get to choose an item, and then you have to be creative with how you use that item to fight bosses. That was a really clever mechanic, really well done, and the bosses were all visually cool and interesting. He came up with really cool names for them based on words in ancient languages. So really solid game overall. I think this I think I'm gonna have to put this in a B tier, but a very high, solid B tier. I might actually put this one above Ogre and the Princess. The reason I'm not giving it an A tier is because it didn't really have much story. Like, I mean, there is story to it, but we just don't know what it is yet. It's just like, hey, you're here, fight these bosses. And it creates a character that's likable and everything, and you know, everything I just said. So really, really solid game, but, you know, just not a whole lot of story as of yet, and I'm a story guy, so for me personally, I'm going to have to put it at a high B tier. And sorry, says, I feel like this game was kind of a hybrid because of the sprites. Yeah, true, but, I don't know, like, the sprites, like, that's a thing that, like, a bunch of different people have adopted into PCGs, so I feel like at this point that is... In fact, yeah, even before paper games were a thing, I think people were starting to adopt those into... Like, yeah, Kurt was using, like, those, like, little stickers, cutouts, whatever you want to call them. And so he says, when making cool names, Google Translate is your friend. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, alright, so let's go on to another similar game. This one by Salmon the Fish PCG. Let's do Arena Battles, because this is another boss battle game. And once again, this one does not have much of a story. This is just like, hey, take some items and fight some bosses. So this is a very similar premise. Arena Battles, also very genius. I love the concept of you know, being able to, like, buy anything you can imagine. That's awesome. Really, like, and that's, like, a nerve-wracking thing to do as a PCG maker, because you don't know how that's gonna go until you actually try it with a player, you know? Because, like, yeah, that is, you know, like, what if somebody says, okay, I imagine... You know, something that you as the creator didn't imagine they were going to imagine, and then it just makes it too easy. What do, you know? But it worked out really well. So this is a really clever idea. Really great first finished game for Salmon. However, once again, it also does not have a story. And it is also very short. So I think I'm gonna have to put this one... This one, I'd say, is about on par with, like, Tenebris and the Ogre and the Princess. So I'm gonna put it somewhere generally in that vicinity. I don't know which one of these is specifically better than the other, but they're all generally in that same ballpark. I'm sorry, says Salman was really creative with the stores and how he could literally have every weapon. I know, yeah, I love that. That was such a cool idea. So yeah, then next up we've got Tutorial Bots Past. Whew! Now, Tutorial Bots Past, I'm very tempted to also put A tier because it has that same epic feel from Spaceballs. It's the same character, so you still feel connected to them. And it carries that feeling forward, and oh my god, oh my, man. I just thought of stuff that happens in that game. So good, oh. But then, like, Tutorial Bots Past, a lot of it kind of goes into weird random stuff for, like, no reason. Like, it doesn't seriously detract from the game. Like, there's no part of it I'm like, oh, what's the point of this, you know? Throughout this game, I was enjoying it thoroughly. However, I felt like it wasn't as strong as... Like, yeah, I would give this one like a 90% rather than 100%. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, Oropai, how's it going? So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one a, this is definitely gonna get a solid A tier. I feel bad for not giving it an S tier, but I think I might actually put this a little bit below Balzac Globotron. I don't know, it's tough. Because these Spaceball games, like, their character development is better than in Balzac. You know what? I'm gonna put it above Balzac and above Fried Calamari. This is going at top of S tier. Sorry, A tier. I know A tier is getting overflown right now, but that's what I'm going to have to do. Cold Brooding Werewolf is going to have to... Oh, man. Thanks for coming, Cold Brooding Werewolf. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's night in India. Oh, yeah, that is true. That makes sense. All right. So let's get into... Let's get into another Chris game. Over here we've got Ghosts. Ghosts, you bleep face, because that is its full title. There's part of that title I did not say. This game was not published with the idea that PCGs were going to be public. That was Chris teasing me. That's how he... Anyway, Ghosts was... incredible paper computer game, like blew my mind. Easily one of the best PCGs I've ever played. Definitely S tier. Ghosts was a brilliant concept. It does something so new and so interesting with the paper computer game formula, and it really works. Like letting you play as a ghost, and you can just go through walls. You can do anything you want. You can't but then So you're both simultaneously more powerful than everyone else and less powerful because you can't hurt them, you can't move anything, and you don't have save game. Oh man, that added such an interesting layer of of tension to the game. It was oh my god, that game blew my mind. So S tier is definitely for things that blew my mind. I think I'm definitely going to put this above Exile. Might even put this above Genesis, because as much as Genesis was brilliant, I think Ghosts... You know what? I might even have to put this above Spaceballs. Shoot. Ghosts was just so good. So good, you guys. It had it built its own world such that I got so curious about it. You want to know more about the lore. To this day, I want to play more Ghosts games. This is definitely of course Chris is never gonna make them because he's Chris, but man. And Story says, "Dang, Ghost sounds fun." I know, it's so good. It's so good. Man, I really need to get that on the PCG shop somehow. But that is, I don't know how I'm gonna script that, and I doubt I'm gonna be able to convince Chris to do that. But oh man, yeah. Alright, so that's Ghosts. Let's see what else we got. Let's do Techno Zombies 2. So Techno Zombies 2 is a game I made mostly for YouTube fairly recently. I like the art in this. I like the black paper and the colored pencil on black paper. That art was really working for me, and I felt like I did a lot better than the first Techno Zombies game. And there was a lot of cool ideas in here. I really like the zombie that, is your friend, or he's the biggest and scariest zombie in the game, but he's also the friendliest, and he's actually a good guy. But also, the giant brain. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. So a really solid PCG, I think, overall, but not mind-blowing. And I felt like it really needed an ending. I never gave it an ending properly, so I'm going to put this down here at B tier. I'm going to put it... I think I'll put it below Descent. Wait, why is Descent on B tier? Oh yeah, I remember why. My bad. Okay, so what else we got? We're running out of PCGs here. Man, that A tier is just overflowing. There's just so many A tier PCGs. Let's see. Let's do should I do Myrmidon? Yeah, let's do Myrmidon. Why not? So Myrmidon was Anstar's second paper computer game, a direct sequel to Tenebris, which is really cool. And I waited a long time to play this one and finally got to, which was really, really cool. And the game did not disappoint. This was a really solid PCG, and it was very different from the first game. Like, Myrmidon, I felt like it brings with it, you know, some of the good boss battle mechanics from the first game, but I felt like Myrmidon has a lot more to it. It has a really solid story that, you know, like, you care about. You get invested in it because, like, you get invested in the characters. And also, on top of that, it has, like, some traditional PCG, like, exploration, puzzle solving, you know, dealing with enemies. So in some senses, it feels closer to a traditional PCG, but it brings with it those, you know, boss battle elements. And also, I just had so much fun insulting the villains in this game. Like, and Story says, Mwahaha. Yeah, that's right. So this is like a really, really solid PCG. This one is a solid A tier, for sure. Let's see where I'm gonna put this. Shoot, I think I would put this. I think it does go above Secret Save Game and More. Does it go above Death Ward Hospital? I think it might. Yeah. Myrmidon is a solid A tier. And there's supposedly at some point a third game in the series coming, which... Yes, hashtag justice for Boulder. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Folks, the race in this game, they were called the Dorgons, I believe, mistreated their fellow member, Boulder, just because, you know, I convinced him to betray the rest of them and help me escape. You know what? That is beside the point. He is a Dorgon being, and he deserves respect. And he was not granted that respect. I overheard Dorgons, like his superior officers, laughing at him, making fun of him. Unacceptable, you guys. Hashtag justice for Boulder. Whisperwood says, are you planning to make a tier list for paper games too? I don't know, maybe. You know, I thought about that, but the thing about that is, like, I just haven't played enough paper games. I played Detuned World by Detuned Paper, and that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, I guess you could do it based on YouTube videos, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that. It's definitely possible. It's a really good idea. It's definitely a possibility, but I don't know. So, okay, let's see. What have we got next? This is Pierre's game Lost Testament. Excuse me. Pierre's game Lost Testament. So yeah, by the way, and sorry, I still want to play the third game in this. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I ended up on that weird planet afterwards, right? I want to know what the deal is with that. So anyway, yeah. So here is Pierre's game Lost Testament. Lost Testament is it's a PCG. This game was like different from our other PCGs. Once again, a beautifully crafted, you know, piece of art, like all her games are. It was, you know, this one brought in color, and unlike her other games, this one is less fantasy and it's more science fiction. It's still fantasy in the basis of it, you know, but, you know, it's like there's robots and lasers and, you know, stuff like that. So this has a sci-fi aesthetic to it. Really well done. And it has, like, she experimented with using comics as cutscenes, which worked really, really well for this game. But because there was like a lot of cutscenes, like I felt like it was sort of impersonal a little bit. Like it felt more like a larger than life adventure and less like you're there, you know. And I've always felt like PCGs are at their best when you feel like you're there. So this one, even though this one is really good, you know, I think I'm gonna give this one a solid A tier for sure. Definitely above Regenesis. I don't know if I want to put it above Secret Save Game and More. Yeah, I think I'll put it there. Solid A tier, really good game. What have we got next? Let's see. All right, we've got... You know, I don't think I can rate PCG Anniversary Special 2 because I'm still playing it. Like, my rule for... like, I uploaded this before I figured out the rules for this video. But, like, I think my rule is, like, only games that I've finished playing, or in the case of my games, like, someone else has to have finished playing it, like, beaten the game. But in the case of PCG Anniversary Special 2, we're just getting started. So, yeah, I don't think I can rank that one yet. It wouldn't be fair. And Story says, I'll make Yasolaga, the third game, after my next video. I'm busier than I thought I would be in the summer. Oh man, that's awesome. I can't wait. That is such a cool name. Yasolaga. Am I pronouncing it right? Orapai says, I'm planning on making another channel specifically for PCG and paper game updates because I feel kind of weird putting those on my main. That's awesome. Yeah, that is really cool. Let me know what the channel is, and I will, you know, subscribe to it and, you know, promote it in PCG News whenever I do PCG News. Anyway, yeah, what am I doing next? So let's see. Mansion of Mystery doesn't count because I already did that. I just accidentally added the image twice. What about Pokemon Stop? Yeah, let's do. You know what? We need some Pokemon music for this. Hold on. Let's get some Pokemon music all up in here. Video games, Pokemon. Okay, that one's not working. Wait, let me... Yeah, Pokemon. Alright, so Pokemon Stop, it's the first time I made a Pokemon game because, yeah, like, I don't know, I figured, like, you know, like, the genesis of Pokemon Stop was that I figured, you know, like, I'd been making all my games up to that point had just been original adventures, but, like, that was at the very beginning of my YouTube channel, and I was thinking, you know, like, it was really, really hard to get any views, you know, and I wanted to build the community, you know, so I was like, huh, like, well, what did paper games do to get a lot of views? And then I looked back at it, I was like, oh, they made lots and lots of games based on, like, actual video games. And, you know, like, it's a Call of Duty paper game. It's a, you know, Pokemon paper game. And, you know, I saw comments in the comment section saying I got into paper games through Pokemon. So I was like, well, you know, I could do that. And then, you know, as soon as, like, I had that idea, I got ideas that were snowballing. And Starry says, yes, Pokemon music, yes. Yeah, like, as soon as I had the idea I could do a Pokemon game for that reason, like, I knew I had to do it because the ideas I had for it were so cool. Like, oh my god, I could make a Pokemon game but put, like, characters from PCGs in it, characters from, like, just other franchises like Zelda enemies in it, like, characters from the Alien movies, and just go all out with it, like, and I did. I had so much fun with this game. So yeah, I really like this game. I think this is a really, really solid game. The combat system makes it take a while. Also, because this was based on Pokemon Go partially, it has an augmented reality component. That means I actually hid screens for this game around town, and Ari had to walk around town and find them and then play them when he got to them, in addition to the regular screens. So it was a little gimmicky, but it was a lot of fun. It was a solid game overall. I mean, like, and this one seems to be popular. It did serve the function that it was created to do. And, you know, like, I felt like, you know, it did create a really cool Pokemon, you know, world. Pokemon PCG, like, hybrid world, sort of. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a solid A tier. I'm going to put it behind the other games. Except Regenesis. I don't know why I'm being so mean to Regenesis, but, like, I mean, it's probably just my loyalty to Genesis. Like, I liked Genesis so much that Regenesis seems a lot worse by comparison. Objectively, though, probably you would have to conclude that Regenesis is really good, and I'm being unfair to it, but oh well, that's the way this is going. And Starry says, you gotta get those keywords in the titles, am I right? Yeah, 100%. And I mean, now that I have more subscribers, I don't do that as much, but I still, like, do that a little bit, like I did the, the Among Us game. Like, but I don't like to do that just because it's a popular game. I don't want to force myself to come up with a game just to get them in the keyword in the title. I also want it to be like something of a cool idea. And in the case of Among Us, I had seen Anstarry's videos. I'd seen other people's videos on it, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. This is kind of a fun trend. I wanted to add to it, and I had like ideas of what I wanted to do with that, and I actually used Anstarry's character, which was a lot of fun, and I ended up really liking that game that I made. But I wonder why I didn't include it in this list. Oh well. Anyway, let's see. Zuvak, The Life and Times of a Clown on a Stick. Woo! I don't know, guys. I need some help here. What do I rate Zuvak, The Life and Times of a Clown on a Stick? So for those not in the know, this is the game I had been waiting to work on for a very long time. Like, for over a decade, I wanted to make this, but then I was like, well, we should finish Balzac Globotron first. And Balzac Globotron took over a decade to finish. So when I finally finished Balzac Globotron, I made this game so fast. But it was a really good idea, and I think it could have been better, but I had a lot of ideas and didn't implement all of them properly. And Sorry says, yeah, I understand what you mean. The Among Us game was just too good of a chance to resist. No one had made a paper game about that one yet. Yeah, true. Definitely. So yeah, Zuvak, so the premise of Zuvak is you play as Zuvak. So that was the first time that was ever the case. You're playing as Zuvak, you can't walk. So I really like that, restriction, you have these restricted abilities. You can't walk, you can't pick things up with your hands, but instead you can only move up and down through an elevator to different rooms in the company base. And and you can talk to people. So all you can do in the company base is talk to people, but outside of it, you're almost a godly being in some sense. Well, not really, but okay. You have access to the internet. You can hack into anything. You can steal money from banks. You can, call people on the phone, email people, and you have to so I would give you a screen that's just a town, right? It's a town, and you can call a person at the town and blackmail them to do what you want, and you're working for the company, so you're supposed to be evil at this point in PCG history. This is a prequel to the Zuvak we know, how he became good. So this is I really, really, really liked the concept in this game, and a lot of the execution. I thought it was really cool and really strong. The only thing that prevents this from being S tier for me is I think I should have. I don't know. Somehow going to a different town every time brought it down a little bit for me. I felt it lost a little bit of that freshness because you meet these characters and then next week you forget them. I think it would have been better if I had stuck with that small town feel and just put everything I wanted into that one town, and just each time you play the game you're learning more and more and more about that town. I think that would have made the game a lot stronger, but instead I made 5 different missions in different towns, and so yeah, I thought that weakened it. So I'm gonna give this a solid A tier. This is a really good game. Deals really well with PCG lore, which is really cool, and Chris really enjoyed seeing Zuvak and playing as Zuvak in a new way, and being able to call people and email people, it's like the perfect recipe to prank them, to mess around, and there's like so many ways to be creative with it. So this is a really good, I really like that game design. So I'm gonna give this one a solid A. I think I'm gonna put this above Last of the Zerelta. And above... Wait, why is Pokemon Stop so low? I think I should put Pokemon Stop a little bit higher. It was a really solid game. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know. Anyway, I should probably do my homework now. See you, Zach. Alright, thanks so much for stopping by, Anstarry. Have a good one, and good luck on that, homework. Alright, I have only 2 more games to go, you guys. 2 more games to go, and they're both Chris games. Let's get through these quickly. We've got, number 1, A Scarf's Tale, one of Chris's modern games with this beautiful color art. Really good concept. I really like, you know, playing as a scarf. That is pretty sweet. Like some cool world building here, but like I have to say, like as good as the world building was in this game, I have to compare it to Ghosts. Ghosts really blew my mind with the world building. It's like, whoa, that world is so cool. With the Scarf's Tale, it was just really good and interesting. So that puts it down a peg. And like the game was like taken as a whole, I think overall it feels just like one of Chris's like even though it does a good job of like utilizing the scarf concept, like putting him in scarfy situations, it ends up feeling more like one of the classic PCGs, you know, where it's just like, you know, where you're Zach and you're just like, oh, I'm trying to get through a tunnel but there's an obstacle, you know. It's just like a linear, like you have to get past this screen, you have to get past this screen. Which is fine, which is awesome, but like I felt like it didn't have enough to elevate it to S tier. So I'm just gonna give this a solid A tier. I'm gonna put it above Lost Testament. Just because it's like it is such an interesting game. It has cool PCG character appearances, and it has like mysterious elements that I'd like to learn more about, but in and of itself it seems pretty short and self-contained, and like it's just, you know, good solid PCG. Not much to say about that. Orapai says Pokemon Stop will always have a place in my heart as it's the first PCG I ever saw. Yeah, I'm really glad I made it, because I think a lot of people really got into Pokemon Stop, and I do want to do more with Pokemon Stop in the future. Like, I had plans to make a sequel to Pokemon Stop, but I never got around to doing it. So that is definitely something I would want to do. I know JPGS did make Pokemon Stop 2. Actually, 2 versions of Pokemon Stop 2. But I want to make another Pokemon Stop game myself, because, like, I have ideas for it. So, anyway, and yeah, there's a lot of people, I think, in the community who really love Pokemon Stop, so yeah. That would be a really good thing to do. One last game to go. This is Spaceballs, another really good game by Chris in this new era of, like, colorful PCGs. Another really strong concept, really creative idea. You're playing as, like, the host of an infomercial TV show that sells across the universe, and you have to sell impossible products to people, and you have to do it in a way that that pleases everyone, which is impossible because people want contradictory things, which, you know, really highlights one of the fun things about PCGs, which is talking to other characters. It just really focuses in on that and does nothing else. So, and it does it really, really well. So, a really well done, really focused and, you know, engaging PCG. The characters were really memorable and enjoyable, and yeah, not a whole lot, like, easily a solid A. Like, it's not, like, mind-blowing, so it doesn't get into the S tier, but definitely better than A Scarf's Tale a little bit, just because it is, like, it has a concept and it's so focused on it and really explores that concept to its fullest. for what it is, it did a really, really good job. I think I'm gonna have to put it above more as well. So yeah, that is my tier ranking of the PCGs, folks. That's let me Arpent it up. That's all the PCGs I've got to rank. I mean, I could rank PCG Anniversary Special 2, but we're still in the middle of playing that, so we should probably finish playing it first before I rank it. Otherwise, it would be unfair. I mean, I could just go right ahead and give it a D tier because Chris sucks, but I'm not going to do that. So yeah. I guess that's all I've got for you guys for now, folks. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to be doing more PCG content in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. I've just been super busy, super busy with work, but that seems to have kind of calmed down a little bit, and right now I have a few days off, and like my schedule in general seems to have calmed down a little bit, so I should have more time to make PCG videos. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's all I've got for you guys today, but I'm going to be doing more content, both live streams and videos, and yeah, PCG-a-later.